Hey everybody, welcome back to Tactics Talk with Guido. On this episode, I've got my Tier 8 Chinese WZ-111 Premium Heavy Tank Middle Tier and a 357 on Pilsen. Loaded into the northern spawn. I'm headed down to the factories with what turns out to be a bit of a light force as opposed to what shows up down here. You know, sometimes the best you can do is to just hold a spot for as long as you can, and if you can do that well, a lot of times the rest of your team has time to win. As you do that, you can collect some good damage and some good experience along the way. I did another video recently called Things That Win, and this is kind of Things That Win number 2, the defensive edition. So let's take a look at some of those things that you can do to win. I like to get down here onto this spot right here. I've talked about it in a couple videos, but you'll notice that all of those benches and things will be knocked down before you see the enemy tank coming. So just watch for that to happen. See how it just got knocked down and now there he is. I'll go into the lower plate of the T26E4 and use some heat to drop a shot right through there. So we've got a low, a Type 59, a Chi-Ri, and a Super, but that's all we see for the moment. There's probably more. They're a little light over on the east side, but you can see that they're coming up that alleyway to my left over there, the low and the KV4. And unfortunately the IS and the IS-2 are sitting back around the corner, allowing them to come in and get a flank on me, and it's just me, a T29, and a Super, which is not too bad. Those two guys on my right are going to end up being important to what I'm doing here as I anchor this spot, but I noticed the low's gone by, and that is a big old bummer. I would have liked to have shot him in the back, but I'm loaded with heat, so it would have been eaten by the door right there. So initially I'm thinking I'm going to slide on back, and then I think, well, you know what, I'm going to have to hold this spot for the moment. I don't really have a good escape route from here for the moment. I could have backed straight out the door, but oh, holy cow, as I started to think about it, there's more of them over there. We've got that Type 59. I fully expected the Super and his T29 buddy to come right at me, and it looks like the Super Pershing does, but the T29 does not. So now I've got a loaded shot. I'm going to try to use some armor right here, go right into his wheel well, take a shot on him. So I'm using that cover right there, both this building, and get out of here. It's not going to work. Oh, hold on a minute. There we go. Both this building and this rubble that I know is there to shield me a little bit from the Type 59, and I know I've got this T29 and Super over here as well as a Sturv. The Sturv's keeping them honest down this lane here. These two guys are to some extent keeping the Type 59 honest, but not too much, and I'm worried about getting flanked. But I've got to now pay attention to two sides, so that's one of those things that will keep you alive, or one of those things that will win, is keeping yourself alive, trying to use your armor as best you can, angling, keeping yourself in cover, all those kind of things. You'll notice the second I stop moving, he targets in on my hatch and puts a shot at me, so that's a big bummer. Backed up to look for the Type 59, and there he was. Now I'm thinking, well, let's put front armor to the Type. Let's come around here and see if we can take this guy on, but he gets around the corner before I'm loaded. Try to put a shot into him. Unable to do that. I bounced a shot coming back, and now I'm spinning around my armor so that I can go back after this Super Pershing. Just back and forth, doing the best I can. Can I do this if they push me? No. If they just all pushed in, I'd have been dead long ago, but this is just one of those things that win, and I'm noticing that this is how these guys are playing, so hey, I'll let them do that. If that's how they want to play this game. Looking for weak spots into the cheek, see if I can bounce this. Bounce an APCR shot. He tracks me but doesn't put any damage on me. This dude's not even looking, so I'll take him down. That's an important kill. Ouch, that hurt. And now the jig is up. These guys are after me. They finally realize, hey, you know what, we got to get in there and kill this guy. But let's look at how the game has developed. You can see that our guys over here had time to win. They're coming around the 6 o'clock, flanking these guys, cleaning up their little stuff in their arty. And we've got guys that have gone through the middle, so they've come across here. Challengers coming in, so me and the T29 holding them for just a few more potatoes, and eventually the rest of the team will get in here. I misplayed this a little bit. I wish I hadn't fired. I wish I would have just backed up and looked for a shot. Now he gets into the side of my turret because I was pointing the wrong way. Actually, that was from the KV4 that ended up killing me, so it looks like he put it into the side of my... Yeah, he put it into the side of my hole right there, so not a whole bunch I could have done right there at the end game. But the point of all of that is that I get down into the important terrain. I've got probably enough tanks to help me out, but they don't get aggressive enough or push up enough with me. So now I've got to fight a defensive fight. Ended up with 3,100 damage. and we fairly easily win this game. And I would contend mostly because I was able to just clog up that middle area, soak up some damage, soak it up with my armor, a little bit with my hit points, and dish out enough to just keep them busy down here so they weren't able to push through our relatively weak west flank over here and get in behind us. So that left us enough time for our guys on the other side of the map to come around. What I really would have liked to have happen there is for all those guys to come down to the lower factories with me and just crush them down there. But as it was, that you've got to play with what you got, and that's what ended up happening there. So there you have it, one of those things that win. I hope you like what you saw, guys. Hopefully somebody learned something here. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, we will see you.